right. Well, it has been quite a while since I have done a just for fun Twitch stream, but you know what? I was in the mood to do it today, and that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do. Let me go ahead and turn the music down just a little bit. There we go. All right. Well, in terms of what I'm going to try to do today, what I have up on screen is what I've spent most of my actual engineering time doing over the past couple of days. We're in the process of trying to get Akka.NET 1.5 shipped, and I basically was speccing out how we're going to implement semantic logging internally inside Akka.NET, as well as a couple of other performance recommendations and improvements too to kind of get things off the ground. However, what I wanted to go ahead and take a look at is this set of recruitment tests. Well, actually, there's really only one recruitment test in here, and that's the Diamond Kata. This is from, I saw David Whitney, who's another sort of big personality in the .NET space, was showing this online as one of the tests they've used to help eliminate a whole bunch of potentially bad candidates for hiring for C# jobs. And I thought, I've been doing C# for going on 2 decades now. I guess my first real exposure to it was after my freshman year of college in 2005. I kind of learned C# and also .NET Framework 2.0, I think, working as an intern for the Fair Isaac Corporation. These are the folks who are responsible for doing your FICO score whenever you want to go ahead and try to apply for a mortgage. So anyway, I've been doing it for 20 years. I figured I should be able to solve this reasonably quickly, but I wanted to actually try my hand at it and see for real how difficult I think this is and how much trouble would someone I might try to hire have with this type of challenge. So I won't go through all the different directions here, but here's kind of the key takeaway. This kata should not take longer than 60 minutes to complete. So you should be able to wrap this up in under an hour. So I am going to, one more requirement. We expect that your solution is supported by tests. Okay, so not only do we need to have the actual program kind of do its thing, but we also need to have tests as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, in order to make good on the requirements of this test here, is I am going to, in fact, let me rearrange my screen real quick. There we go, that's a bit better. What I'm going to do to make good on this test is I am going to get a timer. Let's see, is there a stopwatch function on here? If there's not, let's go ahead and do it on my phone. But I'm going to go ahead and time myself doing this, see if I can get this done in 60 minutes without a unit test. And we'll also get our solution and everything set up. Then we'll read the prompt and we'll dive in and try and get it done. See how quickly we can actually make this happen. The link to this recruitment test is in the description on Twitch and also on YouTube, where we're also streaming it. So you should be able to pick it up there if you want to try it yourself. So let me go ahead and start by creating a new solution in my computer here. So I'll go ahead and do .NET new console. And we'll go ahead and call this Diamond Kata. All right. Go ahead and do that. Okay. And we'll change directories into Diamond Kata. And you know what? Let me go ahead and actually open up Explorer and rearrange this a little bit. I've got like a specific way of working with things. We go to stream, recruitment tests. Whoops. I think it's in the Stenardian folder. Yeah, there we go, Diamond Kata. Let me rearrange this real quick. Source folder. And move these guys into there. Another directory. Diamond Kata.app. Oh, cool. First comment appears to be web spam. All right, buddy. No thanks. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move all this into its own app, into its own little folder there. And yeah, that should be good. We'll go ahead and add a solution file in just a second. diamondkata.app. Then let me go here. I haven't started the timer yet. Actually, I guess it's still going to be in Diamond Kata. New SLN name Diamond Kata. All right. Let me go ahead and open a new writer instance. So I've got Akka.net up and running here. Let me go ahead and open this project I just created. Yep, trust and open. Do this in a new window. Okay. All right. We go ahead and let Rider do its thing. And I'll also add my unit test project as well. And one of the things I'll do as part of as kind of part of my timing for this is I'm going to spec out some requirements. Let me go ahead and add, actually, let me add my existing project first. Add existing project. All right, we'll stick all of our business logic in Diamond Kata to app. Bring that in. I am using GitHub Copilot, so that's probably going to affect the speed at which I do a couple of things. Hopefully it shouldn't really impact my ability to reason about the app all that differently, excuse me. And let's go ahead and add a new project. We'll do unit test project. I'm going to stick this in the right folder. Okay. Diamond Kata app.test. Okay. And I'll go ahead and add, once this is all done, firing up, add a reference there. Okay, we are ready to get started. So let's go ahead and start by actually taking a look at the prompt. And one of the things I'm going to do, in fact, let me grab Sublime Text here real quick. If I go down here, go back in my repositories. I'm going to type up a little README file while I'm here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and do, we're not going to bother regurgitating the requirements since I'm pretty sure that's all going to get spec'd out for us. And the prompt I'm going to read, but I will talk about our strategy and our to-dos in terms of what we need to do to actually accomplish this. I'm going to Stenardian. Okay. Diamond Kata implementation. I'm going to go ahead and actually, do I have a, let's see if there's a Windows system stopwatch. Here we go. Don't know what that's about. Don't care. Good. We do have a stopwatch. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start the stopwatch now. And let's take a look at the prompt. Okay. Given a character in the alphabet, print a diamond of its output with that character being the midpoint of the diamond. So if I do a diamond of A, that's going to be at the top. Okay. Diamond of B, B is the midpoint, C is the midpoint, etc. Okay. And hint, it may be helpful to visualize the white space in your rendering like this. Okay. So here's my take on the first requirement that we're going to need to add here. If I go ahead and pull up this, need to validate input is a A through Z character. Okay, so we need to do that first. Next is we need to compute space per line. So we're going to need to be able to compute how much space there's available on each individual line. That's, I think, what they're trying to hint at in the white space formatting like this. So in order to go ahead and keep things centered, we're going to need to complete some sort of padding function. So i.e. C requires 5 spaces per line. So that's going to be consistent on all lines in there. E requires 3 spaces per line. So there's going to be some sort of growth function that's going to help us compute how big the line is. Going to need to compute, based on the letter provided, how many letters precede it, the diamond, and in what order. Okay, that makes sense. Validating the inputs in A through Z character, that should be pretty trivial. So I guess really the kind of thing we're going to want to do is compute the space per line requirements. Then we're going to need to compute based on the letter, how many letters preceded it and in what order. Okay. Hey, Icarus. How you doing, man? Long time no see. So I guess first thing I'm going to do in terms of what I'm going to look up here, in fact, I'll do a new anonymous tab out of force of habit here. I guess, in fact, I should probably do a tab off screen to search for search results here. Just a good practice when you're doing a live stream. I'm going to go ahead and look for C# compute basic character codes for A through Z. We'll go ahead and normalize our output on uppercase as well, so I don't have to deal with that. But basically, I want an easy way to go ahead and scan kind of the alphabet based on the code here. Yeah, what is the alphabet? What's the ASCII2 error code? Or ASCII2 character code for A through Z. Yeah, I might be overthinking this. Actually, no, I guess. Actually, yeah, because if I look at char, I can actually sort those. Okay, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and do this first. Let's start with some of the individual components. So I'm going to go ahead and add a class here. And we're going to call this diamond calculator. A diamond calc for now. All right. I'm just going to make this a static class. And we're going to go ahead and emit. We'll go ahead and do string characters before. And we'll go ahead and add our validation function as well here. We'll go ahead and do a little const array. We'll go ahead and do a public const char, and we'll do valid chars, and we'll go ahead and do, let's see, I guess that has to be static read only. All right, that's fine. Static bool, valid char. C, that's pretty easy. So we'll go ahead and validate that the character is in the array of things we accept. We're going to accept on the console. This input's going to be a string, so I can convert it to uppercase first, but that's something that we'll deal with when we get there. Now we just need to grab all the characters before our selected one. So in this case, I'll go ahead and grab, let's see if I need to get all the characters before this one in my little array up here. I guess I would, thinking this through, our index of C equals valid chars, index of not resolved index of, let's see, was there a different name for this method? There was an index of in here. Maybe I'm better off for using just string for doing this. Yeah, maybe. All right. Okay, well, let me give that a shot. Dart string. Now I have index of. Looking for a job? No, I'm not looking for a job. I'm pretty happy where I am here at Petabridge, but just wanted to do something fun. All right, so this will give us an index of C. Then we should go ahead and return valid chars. Take, and I guess we'll go ahead and return this. Let's see if this gives us a little n+1 error. And we'll do to array. We don't really care about allocations and all that good stuff. I guess I need to convert this to a character array. We'll do this as a string. And we'll do another one. All right. I'm kind of doing this for time. So I am not exactly string. Oh, this should be char. Cool. Characters before. On needs to be static. All right, that should do it. Let's go ahead and add our first unit test. We'll go ahead and call this diamond calc specs. Actually, you know what? I think this needs to be inclusive. So this should be characters. Let's say characters up to. So I'm going to call that method. There we go. So if I do, and I'll do a little XUnit theory here. And we'll go ahead and call this characters up to should work in valid parameters. All right, do that. We'll go ahead and do char inputs range at search. Also go ahead and do using diamond calc. Yep, that should work. And do I not have a dependency on this project? I do. And why are you not working? Oh, using static. Okay. Arrange. For expected. That's basically what we're doing. You know what I'm going to do? We'll do 2 parameters. Expected. Actually, maybe I'll do this. Expected length. All right, you know what, Copilot, we're good. We do not need your help right now. Okay. Let's see, var. Actual chars equals char characters up to inputs. Okay. Let me go ahead and install Fluent assertions in here too. Yeah, you could probably get this done using only link. I agree with that. That's kind of what I'm doing, actually. All right. Length should be expected. All right. And then I'll go ahead and do, you know what? Char starts with, char ends with. I'm not going to assert literally the entire sequence, but I will say char. Yep. Yep. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do some inline data. A1, A. We'll go ahead and do that test case. We'll go ahead and do Z, which include 26. And we'll go ahead and do, let's say D. All right, that should be enough to kind of validate if this is going to work or not. So let's give that a try. All right. Okay, it looks like we've probably got an n+1 error. Expected actual chars.length to be 0, but found none. Okay. Index of. Expected length to be 4, but found 0. So we found 0 for all of these so far. Okay. So let's take a little look at this. Aha, you know what? I wonder if this is... Yeah, I know what this is. These need to be uppercase. That is exactly why this didn't work. There's probably a way to go ahead and convert to uppercase at the individual character level, but I'm going to handle that at the string level before that input gets passed in there. So we're going to assume by the time it makes it to this function, that's already been sanitized. Okay, now let's see if this works a little better. Expect the length to be 1, but found 0. So we still have a little n+1 error in here. So in that case, I need to do +1 on that. Now, if I rerun this. Okay, great. So we've been able to compute the range of characters that are going to need to be included in the diamond so far. So that's good. Now we're going to need to compute the amount of padding is going to be the next thing. So if we take a look at what we had earlier, if I grab my README, we saw that when there's 3 characters, we have 5 spaces per line. When we have 2 characters, there's 3 spaces needed per line. So this is all kind of about how we center this content on screen here. So I'm going to assume that in order to center the diamond or whatever, that we're going to need static int compute line padding. So let's do this so far. Let's go ahead and assume that we need basically n+2 spaces on either side when n is greater than 1. Actually, no. So when we had, let me take a look at this. B required 3 spaces per line. So B was the index position of 1. So it required an additional space on either side. Let me take a look at how they did that in the diamond kata real quick. +1 space in the middle. So it was actually 5. Oh, but that was when we had the C. Never mind. So this would have been, 1 space on either side here. Okay. I think we got the handle on this. So the formula that we're going to use for computing line padding, I guess there is a way to kind of do this all in one shot if I needed to, but whatever. Let's see. I hear an alarm going off. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I had to text my wife. I kept hearing someone's phone alarm going off right outside my office. Okay. Compute line padding. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the easiest way to do this is all in one shot is really how I want to do it. Where rather than... Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right. So let's see. The character up here needs to be in the middle. So we've got to do this operation twice. So let's go ahead and do, I guess, render half. Now, if I really wanted to make David and his tester and development crew happy, I'd probably use a snapshot test to make sure this is right, but I'm not going to bother setting that up. That would take 20 minutes. But we'll go ahead and say char to print. And basically, line padding equal line padding is going to be chars to print length plus 2, I think. And we'll do a special case if, there we go. That's going to be the line padding per line. Now we actually have to go and iterate through these characters and render the right amount. So the way this algorithm is going to work is you're going to start with basically line, line posts equals 0. You say line width is going to be line padding, divided by 2 minus 1. And this isn't line padding, this is really line length. And let me PEMDAS that real quick, even though, well, it's already kind of PEMDASed, but whatever. That sounds right to me. Line posts equals 1. Line width is going to be, let's see here. Basically, we need to add padding in and padding in the middle because there's going to be 2 characters. Okay. So maybe this would be actually better to unit test now that I'm thinking about how complicated this is going to be. Okay. So let's think about render line. That's something that should be easy to unit test. Render line. We need to know char C. We need to know per line int max line. And the max line is going to be for the hat, basically in either direction, max line. And then we'll go ahead and do a little enum. Actually, no, this should be good. Okay. All right. So I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do here is which katas are you using? Take a look at the description in the stream. But, I'll drop a link to it in chat. Which is this diamond kata right here. Okay, so basically I think the right way to do this is to figure out, all right, we'll go ahead and do if per line equals 0 or cur line equals max line at the start or the stop. Really this needs to be kind of a render line half, I think. I'm sitting here and I'm kind of thinking, maybe I'm overthinking this a bit. You compute all the characters up to this. We need to compute the line width. Let me take a look at this again. It's just plus 2 as long as we're greater than 1. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and just give this a try. We're going to go ahead and hard code it for now. Char equals chargo equals C. Chars to print equals diamond calc. It's up to. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do var for each. Actually, you know what? 0 I is less than chars to print. I. Okay. Those are good GitHub Copilot hints. That's right. If chars to print counts or length equals 1, console.write line go. So we're just going to bail out at this case here. No need to do any special calculations. And then I got rid of my render line function, so that's not going to work. So we need to compute our padding. Padding per line, or basically line length, equals chars to print dot length plus 2. I think that should be right. Well, we'll find out if I'm right or wrong there. That might be, we might need to do some, make it a little fancier for the time being. But what we're going to do is say, okay, if I equals 0, or I equals a charge print dot length. In this case, only need to write a single character. We'll go ahead and do console.write. Let's see. How do I do string padding in C#? Pad left. String builder. Let's see if I go ahead and do console.writeLine. And we include chars to print I. There we go. And I should be able to do string.pad left. Not testable. Maybe not. There we go. Thank God. Okay, pad left. This is going to be line length divided by 2. We'll go ahead and put an underscore here. You can figure out how to test it a little bit later. I think BDDing this is just not sensible for now. We'll go ahead and give that a try. All right. And then otherwise, to write 2 instances of character. Okay. So we need to compute based off how far we are down the stream here, how many characters before, chars before, after, chars in between. All right, so how would I compute this? Basically, every single time. So this whole line length divided by 2. I guess I would do chars before equals line length divided by 2 because there's half minus I is probably how I would do that. That'd be the characters before. So if I had a value of, in fact, yeah, that'd be a good thing we can calculate. Line padding front. Incur line, max line. Go ahead and do return C. And actually, I don't need this. I just need the integer. This is something we can test. So let me go ahead and do return cur line, or sorry, max line divided by 2 minus cur line. And let's see if this makes sense. Int, line counts, int max line, int expected chars. Okay. So if If I expect there to be 3 lines total, A, B, C, D. In fact, let me rearrange this. Okay. There we go. So if I'm doing letter C and I'm doing letter A, that'd be the first line. I got to do this 0 indexed. So let me rename this to line counts. All right. I expect there to be 1 character. Actually, no. I expect there to be 2 characters in front. That's how we're going to pad it in the middle. 5 characters in the line total. A is going to be character number 3 if you're using 1-based indexing. If in the same scenario, I'm on line 2, I'm going to expect there to be 1 character in front of each. Let's insert. Current line posts, next line counts, line padding front. Let's go ahead and do expected chart in front. And let's go ahead and compute that. Just using some simple cases here. All right, we already have some errors. We expected line padding in front to be 2, but we found 1. We expected it to be 1, but we found 0. So it looks like we have a pretty consistent. This should be, let's go ahead and rename this line count. Line count divided by 2. So we're doing a little bit of integer division there, minus cur line. Let's go ahead and do a couple of other little samples here just to make sure I'm kind of on the right track. If we're doing the letter B, we have the letter A, there should be 1 character on either side. I guess ChatGPT can do it. Yeah, but I don't want ChatGPT to be able to do it. I want to be able to do it. We're doing here, there should be 0 in front. All right, let's see if any of these work. This is all about dealing with tricky like N+1 style issues and reasoning about those. Okay. I have 20 minutes left. I've got 30 minutes left. Let's see. Line padding front. Plus, I'm having to stop and explain everything. Line padding in front is off for odd numbers so far, but it works fine for even numbers. Let's go ahead and bump this up a little bit. Letter D. The letter D, if I go back to this little diamond kata right here, if I was going to do letter D, this would mean D would actually need to be 1 further character out on either side. That would mean C need to be further in. D probably need to be there. Yeah, let's see if we can get this right. Nope, I think 3 is plenty. Nope, I guess we do need 4. Need that. E. C. Let's grab that line. Okay. So, are you afraid of ChatGPT taking dev jobs? Nah, no way. Not at all. All right, let's see. I think I did this right. So we now have 4 characters total, but it took 7 characters. I'm basically not counting the white space here. It took 7 characters total to build this up. So there's 5 underscores, these. So let's see. So with 1, we had 1. So that's a special case, doesn't count. With 2, we had 3. With 3, we had 5. With 4, we had 7. So the little pattern here in terms of how much padding we need. So I was originally doing like n plus 2 is not correct. So that's one assumption that we're going to need to revisit. N plus 2 worked for 3, but it doesn't work for 2, and it doesn't work for 7. So what's really the formula here? Is this really, in terms of computing the line length, that's something that we've got to get under control. Otherwise, the other stuff we're doing doesn't really matter. You'll notice that, by the way, like, they've kind of spaced this out to make it look nice down here, but that's not really what they're looking for. They're looking for just normal spacing here. So it's really 7 characters on that line. So that's going to be, the math formula is a little different here. I guess the way I would go ahead and total it up is it's got to be based on the number of characters that precede it. So when there's 7, so for the, like, let's think about like the first line as determining the length. Really what you want to do to compute the total length you need is figure out how many characters need to come before the first one in the unit. So if I am, okay, I think I got this. This is like a distance function, really, is the way we should be looking at it. So let me go back to Diamond Calc. And we're going to go ahead and do public static int line. Actually, yeah. Line padding in front. We're going to go ahead and do char C. And then we're going to do char available. We're going to go ahead and return available dot count, where D less than C. We're going to return that. So this should return. Actually, this should be where, yeah, C is less than D. So this character is smaller than how many characters, right? That's going to be the little formula for determining our line padding in front. So this is all wrong, unfortunately. I'm just going to turn this into a fact real quick to make this a little easier on myself. And we'll go ahead and do var d chars in front equals characters up to. Okay, and then line padding in front is going to be, let's go ahead and do A. Chars in front. Line padding in front A. Line padding in front A. That should be 3. Let's check that out real quick. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, that looks more accurate. Now let's go ahead and try for B and C. And see if that matches what I hard-coded on paper here. Basically, rather than treating it like a counting operation, we're doing it like a distance function. This is like, kind of like how you detect typos, Gordon-Levenstein distance. That's kind of what I was thinking of here, even though this is obviously a much sort of simpler function. That should be 2, I think. Yeah, 2, then 1, then 0. All right. Right. Let's go ahead and do that. Expected padding in front of 0 to be C. Oh, whoops. I just put the wrong value in there. That should work. Okay, perfect. All right. That makes total sense. Okay, so to render the first half of our little Christmas tree up here, here's what I think we should do. Control D, duplicate a line. Rider. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. Now, the next thing I got to do is compute distance in the middle. That actually shouldn't be too hard to do, come to think of it. So here's what we'll do. We'll still do our little special case for writing a single character. But we'll go ahead and do var line length is going to be diamond count. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We're just going to go ahead and construct a string on the fly. Diamond characters, we'll go ahead and do chars to print I. Chars to print. And let's see, line padding in front. Front pad. And back pad, in this case, is front pad. And we'll go ahead and do var stir equals this. Do that for now, and let's get rid of the stupid line length stuff. Just stick front pad and back pad. Don't worry, I'll try to refactor this into a function a little bit later. All right, so we know that'll work for the front one. Now for the second one, we got to do this twice. So how's that going to work? In order to do this twice, we are going to need to do characters in front, and then, okay, remaining chars. Let's do this. In fact, you know what I can do here? Yeah, let's take this out. Let's just go ahead and compute that every time, because we're going to need it every time. All right, what we're going to do, total length is going to be determined by, like, I should do this the very first time, I guess. Line length is going to be, yeah, I'm just going to hack it. We're going to compute the line length, and it's going to be the letter A, chars to print, times 2 plus 1. That is going to be our line length. So what I can do here is say, okay, I know I'm going to need to write 2. So we'll say var distance between is going to be line length minus front pad plus 2 minus 2 as well. Reason being is that we have to have one spot for each of the characters in here. Okay, so that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's see, chars to print I, pad left, front pad, almost, just between. Then we need to add right here equals copy that, add left, add right. That looks good. Okay. Console.write line. I think that should do it. So we're starting off with the character C. Let's run this, see how it goes. Well, that certainly didn't work. Okay. And why is that? Yeah, it looks like we got this precise index is out of bounds of the array. Like we got this precisely backwards here. Well, for starters, chars to print. How do we get this wrong? I equals 0. We're computing all of our lengths based on chars to print left pad. Let me go ahead and slap some breakpoints on here and investigate real quick. See how I'm doing on time. I got another 20 minutes. Front pad is 2. That's right. Okay. Back pad is 2. Chars to print is 3. What's I? I is 3. Okay. We got to go ahead and do a -1 check right there. I wonder if pad left is not doing what it's supposed to. Let's figure that out. Yeah, it's for sure not. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I don't care about performance. I care about getting this right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and write a little diamond formatter. Class. All right. And we'll go ahead and return a string. Pad. We'll go ahead and do int pad front. That's length. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab from here. Yeah, back pad and front pad. We'll change that to length. Change that to front pad. Okay, distance between string builder. P.append. We'll go ahead and do C enumerable dot range or dot range, whatever. 0 front pad. Ah, gosh. Okay. I need to add that. There we go. We'll go ahead and do front pad stir. P.append C. P.append, let's see. If distance between greater than 0, we'll do this. Then we'll do sp.append front pad string again. Great. I'm in formatter. Format. All right, let's give that another try. Looking good. That's the first top of this thing. Great. Okay, so we've got this working all the way through the first time. Now we need to go ahead and do it in reverse as well. So what I'll do for that is go ahead and do this top half of diamond. Next, to do the bottom half of the diamond, we're going to iterate to the array, but this time around, we're going to skip the first position And we're going to call reverse. All right. What namespace to bring in to get reverse array? System.link. Okay, let me grab that. Okay. Now, why is that not working? I'm using systems. An array should be enumerable unless a character array is special. I'm not getting any of the extension methods I would normally expect here. Well, I can do it this way. I equals chars print length -2. I is greater than 0. I minus. Let's see if that'll work. Unhandled exception, out of bounds. Let's see where we hit that. I'm basically just reversing it by changing the math around. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Index. Will you show me the index? The index is 3. Top half a diamond, bottom half a diamond. Also, it fails there. Oh, that's, yeah, I see what you're saying, I think. There's something special about this character array. What's going on with this stuff? Like, where's my length setting for this thing? Yeah, I see. That's what was going wrong. We had the indexer on there. Okay. Try running that again. All right, and I've got a little n+1 error down below. Let me fix that. It needs to be greater than or equal to 0, I think. Boom, that works great. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and try this with A and make sure I don't have an n+1 error there. Perfect. That's looking good. Let's try something a little bit more sophisticated. Let's go all the way up to Z. That looks pretty spot on to me. I think we got it, fellas. Let's take a look at the timer. All right, that took about 50 minutes to go ahead and complete. Let me go ahead and do one last thing here, which is I need to get the parameter args. Let me grab that C#. I don't know how to do that actually without the system to args here. Get CLI args. Yeah, if I'm doing a minimal API, how do we get access to that? It'd be environment, I think. Command line. Yeah, command line args, great. Args. There we go. Bar char to do equals args. One first or default, single or default. And we'll do the letter C by default. And then I'll go ahead and convert this to upper. Okay. And we'll go ahead and do Chardu. And I'll do one more thing. Trim all the white space out of there. Then we'll do single. All right, that should do that. Cool, that looks good. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Let's go ahead and try running this from the command line. All right, .NET run, C release. Up. Well, that worked, even though I spelt my build configuration wrong. So that looks like everything is working according to plan there. That is pretty superb. Good, good. What's this terminal? Oh, this is Commander. That's the terminal that I use. In fact, let me give those guys a shout out. Let's see, Commander. There we go. It's a little console emulator. I've been using this one for years. Works great. Let me drop a link to their stuff. Windows Terminal is neat. I've just never actually used it much. But yeah, this is the terminal that I'm currently using. Big fan of it. Works really well. So let's go through and review our solution real quick to how we solve this little diamond kata problem. What PS scheme am I using? You mean what PowerShell scheme am I using? I'm just using the kind of normal vanilla PowerShell that's baked into Diamond Kata. And I'm using JetBrains Writer for doing actually all my work. So how do we go about building this here? Well, the key realization was determining basically the amount of, rather than trying to compute the line length, it was kind of working in terms of, yeah, Commander styles it like this. That's right. And also, I do have Posh Git enabled as well. That's 100% correct. So yeah, so this is like the default Commander style. And then I have Posh Git running underneath. So yeah, this is a little console emulator. It's great, works really well. I also can run Bash. I can run batch files on it as well. Definitely a big fan of it. So let's go ahead and kind of read through the solution real quick. How did we make this work, and what were the challenges? Well, the hard part was actually really kind of reasoning about how do we format each line individually. You can see that the code we ended up with was actually pretty clean in the grand scheme of things here. But computing basically the amount of line padding in front was, I think, the real clue to this. So, you know, the line length is basically going to be the line padding in front of whatever this character is. So it's a distance function. Multiply that by 2 and then add 1, which is going to be, and when we're computing the line length for the letter A. So that way we don't have to worry about whether there's 2 characters or not. We're just going to go ahead and let the padding function kind of solve this for us naturally. So that worked pretty well. And then this line padding front function, in order to get that to work, it was simply counting the number of characters that preceded the one that we're going to render. For that many positions in the string, we've got to go ahead and substitute our white space. So it was kind of, once we figured that out, everything was kind of fell into place. But getting there took a little bit of struggle. So my take on this code kata is, you know, it is actually surprisingly difficult to reason about. And it's because you're dealing with a lot of detail-oriented problems. Like you saw all the N+1 errors that I ran into initially. And yeah. So let's see. You tried padding to the letter, could have complicated things a bit. I did try that, and I don't know why the padding function wasn't doing what I expected. That was kind of my first... I figured that would do the right thing out of the box, but for whatever reason, I wasn't getting any padding at the end, and I wasn't getting any padding in front either. So no idea why that didn't work the way I thought it would. So I decided just to brute force it with a little string builder instead. And that worked out just fine. If I got dinged in a job interview for using a string builder to do this, I would just kind of shrug and be like, okay, well, you know, suit yourself, bud, would be my take on it. But where I kind of see the challenge in this spec is, I spend a lot of time debugging concurrent and distributed systems, and even I'm still going to have trouble with reasoning about all the different, the dimensionality of how dynamically you're going to go and compute based on the letter in the alphabet, whether basically how many characters need to precede it, whether there's going to be multiple in the line, and so forth. My personal favorite here was basically the decision to go ahead and split the rendering into two pieces. You have your top and bottom halves. That way, let's see. Yeah, I ran that with the letter Z. You have your top and your bottom halves. So you go ahead and render the top, then reverse everything and work your way back towards the bottom, where you're using essentially the exact same rendering function in both directions. And that was, I think, a good decision as well. Kind of rather than trying to do this all in one shot, doing it twice, and then remembering to skip your target letter in the middle here. So I quite enjoyed that. Now, thank you very much for following with me today. I probably have some real engineering work I need to get back to, but this was fun. If you guys have any additional code katas or anything else you want me to try to solve, please go ahead and ping me at Aaron on the web on Twitter. I would definitely be happy to fire up a stream and do this again sometime. It's always fun to have little brain teasers and FizzBuzz style problems like this. Always fun to hop on Twitch and just kind of screw around. So that was a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much for your time today, everybody, and I will catch you next time.